In this video, we're going to be taking a look at ordered pairs. Now, you will need to turn your Go Math books to page 373, get out your math journal and a pencil. And the essential question that we are going to answer throughout the video is, how can you identify the relationship between points on a coordinate grid? So let's take a look at the problem on page 373. Before we do that, let's take a look at some connecting ideas with ordered pairs. So locating a point on a coordinate grid is similar to describing directions using north, south, and east and west. The horizontal number line on the grid is the x-axis. The vertical number line on the grid is the y-axis. So you can see the vertical line, the horizontal line, the x-axis. Vertical line is the y-axis. That's going up, y-axis. Going to the right is the x-axis that you can see on that coordinate grid. Now, each point on the coordinate grid can be described by an ordered pair of numbers. The x-coordinate is the first number in the ordered pair. Okay, it's the horizontal location, or the distance the point is from 0 in the direction of the x-axis. So in other words, if we're taking a look at this, and we have our ordered pair of, for example, 2, 4. Okay, the first step, we move 2 to the right on my x-axis. All right, now the y-axis, the y-coordinate, is the second number in the ordered pair. It's the vertical location, or the distance the point is from 0 in the direction of the y-axis. Okay, so we can see, for example, going from 2, and then we would go up to 4, and then we would plot our point. The way I can remember this is that the x-axis, you move right on the coordinate grid first of all, because x comes before y, so you deal with the x before you deal with the y. So some tips on plotting points on a coordinate grid. Okay, so we can see, even with on page 373, we see the x-coordinate and the y-coordinate. The x-axis and the y-axis intersect at point 0, 0, called the origin. Okay, so if we take a look at our ordered pair, 0, 0 would be right here, and that's called the origin. Okay, so let's take a look at that problem. It says, unlock the problem. It says, write the ordered pairs for the locations of the arena and the aquarium. Okay, so it says, locate the point for which you want to write an ordered pair. All right, so we see, look below at the x-axis to identify the point's horizontal distance from 0, which is this x-coordinate, and look to the left of the y-axis to identify the point's vertical distance from 0, which is the y-coordinate. Okay, so we are, first of all, taking a look at the arena. All right, so we can see that the x-axis is 3. Why do we know that it's 3? It's because if you come right over here on the plotted point, you can see it's lined right up with 3. Okay, within the x-axis, and that plotted, or the y-axis, is 2. All right, why do we know that it's 2? It's because we're able to see that it is 2 up on my y-axis. It's right in line with my 2. So it's an ordered pair of 3, 2 for the arena. Now the aquarium, what we need to do is, first of all, take a look all the way at the x-axis, and we can see that the aquarium is lined right up with the 9 right here on my x-axis. All right, so we would have 9 for the first number in our ordered pair. And then we would go up the aquarium, and you can see it's right in line with the 4 on my y-axis. So it'd be an ordered pair of 9, 4. So the first step is move to the right on the x-axis, find that plotted point, and put the number that it lines up with, and then look at the y-axis, and we can see that the plotted point is lined up with 4. Okay, so at the bottom of 373, it says, describe the path you would take to get from the origin to the aquarium using horizontal then vertical movements. So your possible explanation would be, I go to the right 9 units and then up 4 units. You can see to the right on my x-axis 9 units and then go up 4. Now let's take a look at example 1. It says a point on a coordinate grid can be labeled with an ordered pair, a letter, or even both. Okay, so for letter A, it says plot point 5, 7 and label it J. Okay, so the way we would do this, 5, 7, first of all, 5 is the number of units we move to the right on the x-axis from the origin or from 0. So 5. We don't plot any points there. And then 7 shows us how many units we move up from the spot in the x-axis, which was 5. And then you can see it's lined right up with my 7. Okay, so we have J, 5, 7 for the ordered pair. Now what we'll do for letter B, it says plot point 8, 0 and label it S. Okay, so from the origin, what we need to do, we need to move right 8 units because this represents the x-axis. So we're going to move right 8 units. And then we move up, actually 0 units because the y-axis is labeled 0. And then we can plot our point right here. So we moved up 0 units. We plotted our point right there, and we're going to label it 8, 0, and then also with the letter S. So once again, starting at the origin, you move to the right however many units are represented with the x-axis, and then you move up however many units you see in the y-axis. Okay, so example 2, let's do this together. It says find the distance between 2 points. Now you can find the distance between 2 points when the points are along the same horizontal or vertical line. Okay, so draw a line segment to connect point A and point B, and count vertical units between the 2 points. Okay, so we can see between point A and point B, what we're going to do is we're going to draw a line segment. So let's do that together between point A and point B. There we go. We have our line segment there. So what we are seeing, we're trying to figure out how many units are between point A and point B. So we see that point B is at the 9 with the y-axis. It's at 9. It's at the 3 with the y-axis there. So what we can do, we can take 9 and subtract 3 from that, and we can see that there are a total of 6 units between A and B. Now we don't have to worry about the x-axis because both of A and B are on the 9 x-axis. So the only thing we have to do is look at the y-axis. 9 minus 3 gives us 6 units. Now the next thing we want to do is graph points 3 and 2 and 5, 2. And we want to use explain how we can use subtraction to find the horizontal distance between these 2 points. So the first thing we do, graphing 3, 2. Start at the origin, and you move the number of units to the right within the x-axis, which is 3, and then we move up 2 units on the y-axis, and we plot our point. Next thing we do, 5, 2. That means we move to the right 5 units from the origin on the x-axis, and then we move up 2 units on the y-axis because it's 2 within the y-axis there. Now what we can do is we can see that both units are along the y-axis. Okay, so we don't have to worry about that, but we see the x-axis. One point is plotted at 3, one is at 5. So we can see 5 minus 3. The horizontal distance between these 2 points is 2. So 5 minus 3 equals 2. Once again, the y-coordinates represent the same location on the horizontal axis. So subtract the x-coordinates to find that horizontal distance, 5 minus 3. So the distance is 2 units between 3, 2 and 5, 2. Okay, let's do the share and show together. Okay, so first of all, we need to figure out what letter C is. Okay, use the coordinate grid to write an ordered pair for the given points. We can see letter C, first of all, starting from the origin, the x-axis is going to represent 6. So you need to have both of these in parentheses and a comma separating both of them, and then we go up on the y-axis and we can see that's right in line with my 3. So 6, 3 for letter C. Okay, now let's take a look at letter D. We can see first of all, starting from the origin, that the plotted point is 3 places, 3 units to the right on the the x-axis, so it's 3. And then it did not go up at all on the y-axis. You can see it's right in line with that 0, so 3, 0 for my ordered pair for letter D. So I want you to do letters E and F all by yourself. When you're finished, you can press play. I will have the answer for you. So pause the video now. Okay, you can see the answers for letter E and F, 9, 9, and also 10, 5. Okay, so let's take a look at numbers 5 and 6 together. Okay, so letter M, we're going to plot and label the points on the coordinate grid. So M is 0, 9. So what we need to do is, first of all, start out with the x-axis, go 0 points from the origin. So in other words, we stay right here we don't move any units at all. Then we go up 9 units on my y-axis, plot our point right here. Okay, and we can label that letter M. Moving to letter H, 8, 6. So first of all, looking at my first order pair, 8, we move 8 units to the right on the origin from the origin on the x-axis, and we move up 6 units on my y-axis. Plot our point and label that the letter H. One more together, letter K. We want to move 10 units to the right on my x-axis, and then we'll move 4 units up on my y-axis, plot our point, and label it letter K. Now I want you to do letters T, W, and R, and when you press play, I will have the answers for you. So pause the video now. Okay, here are the plotted points. Make sure yours looks just like mine, and if you have to rewind and rewatch some of the video, please do so. Okay, what I want you to do is use the coordinate grid to write an ordered pair for the given points. Do this all by yourself. When you're finished, you can press play and I will have the answer for you. So pause the video now. Okay, here are the answers. Make sure that the first number in your ordered pair represents the x-axis and the second number of your ordered pair represents the y-axis. Okay, I want you to work through these problems at your seat all by yourself. And you need to plot and label the points on the coordinate grid. When you're finished, you can press play and I will have these answers for you. So pause the video now. Okay, here are the plotted points that represent these letters on the coordinate grid. Make sure your answers match mine. Okay, I want you to work through this test prep problem. When you're finished, you can press play and I will have the answer for you. So pause the video now. Okay, the answer is letter C. And moving to the essential question, how can you identify the relationship between points on a coordinate grid? You can use the X and Y coordinates to find or describe the distance of a point from the origin. So this concludes the video on ordered pairs. If you have any questions about this concept, please come and see me.